Hey, I'm MIZUEZ. Thank you for tuning in and welcome aboard. I earned my PPL in 2021 and just purchased my first aircraft, a 1962 Cessna 172C, and I'm learning everything that goes along with aircraft ownership. I hope you enjoy tagging along on my adventures as I explore new places, make new friends, visit some old ones, and see what opportunities aviation has to offer. The In-Flight Banana is an informal way viewers can ask questions and get real-time answers to those questions from a pilot's point of view, even if those questions aren't aviation-oriented. Sit back, relax, ask your questions, and as always, enjoy the flight. I'll see you in the skies.
Clear prep.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Hello, hello, hello. Oil pressure coming up, looking good. Waiting on oil.
Country traffic, helicopter 2 Papa Juliet, flight of 2 helicopters, 1 mile to the southwest, will be crossing the runway and landing direct to the southeast transient ramp. Country.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Make sure we're buckled. That's important. So those helicopters that were coming in on the radio, that is PG&E. They've been working out in the local area. A couple spots where they're doing some line work, some inspections, and doing some upgrades on some of the power lines. So they refuel out of Nut Tree, which is pretty awesome. We're a little bit too lean there on the mixture. Let's go ahead and turn around so that way I'm out of the sun. Remove brake check. Brakes are good. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and we're going to turn so I'm out of the sun. It's hot. It's almost like 90 degrees today in Vacaville, which is that's pretty hot. So there, we'll get the camera in the shade. Make sure the camera doesn't overheat this time, because that would just be awful, wouldn't it? Don't want the camera to overheat. There we go. Now we're the other way around. Let's make sure the engine gets really warmed up. We are still grounded, which is awful. I'm still waiting for the FAA to process my registration paperwork and actually get the aircraft registered back in my name as it should be. So we're still grounded for a little while. The date the FAA is currently processing is April 13th, and my date that I'm waiting for is June 10th. So that's like just under 2 months. It's October 18th today, and that means probably about December 10th to 15th or something, I'll finally get the aircraft processed and I can actually take off again. Let's go ahead and listen to the ATIS and see what we got going on.
19er Zulu. Wind 040 at 08.
That's
Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 31 Celsius. Dew point 08 Celsius. Altimeter 3003. Remarks. Density altitude 1,800.
I want to hear that wind one more time, but it should be coming from the
Nut
direction
Tree
I'm facing.
Airport, Vacaville, California. Automated weather observation 2320 Zulu. Wind 030 at 08.
Yeah.
Visibility.
The wind is 030. That's basically the direction the camera is at. Actually, it's about that way. That's the way the wind's coming from. So, all right. Well, we are ready to taxi out. So let's go ahead, make sure we're good, and we'll announce our taxi. Nut Tree traffic, Cessna 1549er Yankee from the ramp, taxiing out to runway 2, Nut Tree. We're clear on the right, clear on the left. So what we're doing today I'm just going to go run up the engine. It's been about a week, maybe two, probably more like 2 weeks, since I've actually ran the engine. And I need to make sure that I'm keeping all the fluids moving, keeping the oil circulating. And I want to make sure that everything in that engine is running good. So that way when I can go fly again, when December comes around, the aircraft is actually ready to go. And I don't have to go put it through a whole bunch of maintenance to keep it ready to go. Oh, we're going to be in the sun again. Let's go ahead and put this out. So we're just doing some runs. I'm going to run up the engine, make sure, do like an actual run up as if I was flying, make sure the mags are still checking good and all that fun stuff. And then we're going to go do a high-speed taxi down the runway to just really get the engine up to RPM, get it moving. And then I want to verify my pitot static system is still working. The airspeed indicator goes up like it should, and all of that works. You may be able to see, not sure, if you look out to the left, those 2 helicopters that just landed, they're still shutting down in the helicopter ramp area. Hopefully you can see those around me. There's an aircraft right in front of me. Looks like they're in the run-up area right now. Doesn't look like I can fit around him, so I do want to turn around to do the run-up so I'm facing the wind, and the camera will be in the shade. Yeah, it looks like I got plenty of room. Oh, and he's moving right now, so that's perfect. He'll be clear out of the way. Beautiful. Say,
385 Tango departing runway 2.
yeah, 85 Tango. He's a, looks like a Bonanza. Yeah. There we go. Let's loop around. So I'm facing into the wind. Beautiful. And I do apologize to anybody who is actually watching at the moment and is trying to talk to me in the chat. I'm only by myself today. I don't have a safety pilot who's able to look at the chat, so I will not be able to respond to chat. But anything left, I will respond to later. So let's see, flight controls. Free. Sweet, flight controls free and correct. Very good. Let's set mixture for the altitude. And here we go, engine run up. 1700 RPM. Right there, perfect. Let's let it warm up for a little bit. And oil temperature is at 105, which is perfect. Let's normalize, right mag. Perfect. Rise in EGT, drop in CHT, and it's a good RPM drop, back to both. Now the one that I'm always nervous about, the left. And just like I thought, ooh, we lost 2 cylinders. That's not good. Let's go back to both. We're going to turn on carb heat. We're going to get some heat into that engine. Yep, I felt the drop in the RPM. We're going to lean it out a little bit so we can get it nice and hot. And here we go up to 2000 RPM. I need to burn out the gunk and everything that's in those cylinders. Sometimes when the engine sits for a long time, you'll get carbon deposits, you'll get oil deposits. It sits on the spark plugs and prevents them from sparking. And since my left mag is all the bottom spark plugs, the left mag is always the one that fails when I do these run-ups. If I was flying every day like I used to, it would work a lot better and a lot more reliably. But because it sits idle so long, that is why the spark plugs always fail. So now I'm just kind of running. Oh, there we go. The engine just all of a sudden picked up some RPM. The brakes actually aren't holding me still anymore. I have to hold the brakes really, really hard if I don't want to move. Let's put some more pressure on them. All right, carb heat in, increase in RPM, mixture rich, go back to 1700 RPM just like we normally do. All right, normalize that, right mag, beautiful as always, back to both, and let's go with the left mag. And all 6 cylinders check out. Oh, 4 kind of dropping off, but it's we're in there with all 4. It's still a little bit fouled, but significantly better than it was. If we were flying today, I would do that burnout one more time, or that clean out, just to really clean those out, because that did a lot better. But since we're not actually flying, I'm not too concerned about it. Doing the run-up or the high-speed taxi down the runway, that will clean it the rest of the way out. So I'm not too concerned about it now because we're not actually leaving the ground. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to practice a soft field takeoff technique. So that's when you apply full power, you're giving full back pressure. You're going to get that nose wheel off the ground, and we're going to do a wheelie down the runway, at least for a little bit. Once we start picking up airspeed and we hit about 40 knots, and say, I don't want to rotate and leave the ground, so we're going to pull the power back. I'm going to set the nose wheel back down, and then we're just going to coast the rest of the way down the runway until we turn off at our normal taxi point. Then we'll do another run-up just like we just did, and hopefully all 6 cylinders will be clear on both magnetos. We're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to set my transponder to standby. I don't need it on for this. Yeah, it looks like we're doing pretty good. I do have a leak on the left brake caliper. Doesn't look like it was actually leaking too much right now, so that's actually a good thing. All right, let's do a quick 360 and check. I don't see anybody coming in on the opposite direction with the way the wind's going. They should all be landing runway 2, just like the guy departed. Windsock's hit runway 2. I don't see anybody on ADS-B except I'm not going to. Traffic's unavailable because my transponder's off. Well, my transponder's on standby. I'm also not high enough to pick up any ADS-B, so I'm not going to see anybody on the GPS. Be really diligent. There are a couple birds. Let's go ahead and spin, and then we'll go do that high-speed taxi. So we're looking for traffic. So currently do not see no one coming around on final. I don't hear anybody on the radio. Doesn't mean there's nobody there, so that's all we always check. Someone may not have a radio or has a radio failure or just isn't talking, because that, that does happen. Seat belts. Am I holding that backwards? I am holding that backwards. There we go. Seatbelts on. Mixture full rich. Nut-Tree traffic, Cessna 1549er Yankee, doing high-speed taxi down runway 2, Nut-Tree. Close the window because it's going to get super windy, which means it's going to get hot. Use up all available runway. Runway 2 verified. There we go, let's straighten out. Let's to the floor, full back elevator, full throttle. Nose wheel is light, nose wheel's off the ground. Hold it, airspeed alive. And we're going to let the nose wheel back down. And we're going to hold that airspeed right there. All right, throttle back. And we're going to start applying the brakes just like we landed. Applying back pressure, just enough so we don't slam the nose wheel into the ground. And we do our turn. Mixture lean for taxi. Make sure we clear the hold short line. Nut-Tree traffic, Cessna 1549er Yankees clear, runway 2 and taxiing back to parking, Nut-Tree. And let's open the window because even just that little bit, whew, it got hot. I'm actually I should rinse it off real quick because the plane is very dusty. It's been a while, and it's been very dusty lately, very dry. So it's very dusty. I had to wash the window and everything just to make sure we were good to go. We'll stop right there. All right, perfect. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go watch the outside of the airplane, and that concludes the test. Thank you very much for tagging along and seeing what we do. That's just testing the engine real quick. Let's go ahead and do another quick 1700 RPM. There we go. Normalize the data. Left mag check's good. Right mag check's good. Beautiful. So just like I thought, that clears out the spark plugs. Okay, well I'm going to go ahead and wash off the aircraft. Thank you so much for tuning in, and just as always, hope to catch you on the next one. See ya.